Sam grab a spot.
Hello.
Hello, Sam. How are you? Sam Jindra.
How are you, Steve?
I'm really good. I have to tell you, I am loving Fourth Pride Vodka. It is so good. I made my cocktail.
Yeah, honestly, I love honest feedback. What do you think? You really do love it.
I really, really love it. We have to. I know 5% of proceeds go back to the LGBTQ plus community. Can you tell us a little bit about the vodka?
Absolutely. So, Fourth Pride Vodka, and let me know if you can't hear me. I was actually at a business guild meeting that I forgot was today, and it happened to be at one of our accounts. So I was like, oh wow, I should probably sponsor it.
There you
So
go.
I'm actually at the end of the street of the Curry Mansion Inn, and I love that you reached out to me specifically so far, up at the Iguana Bars where you had found us, and discovered us. We are national. It is Fourth Pride. It's a family-owned, local father and son business. They do own the Boiler Room, which I'm sure you are familiar with.
East Village, love it there. Classic.
Yes, they're going on their 30th anniversary. They're the biggest gay dive bar up there, and they decided to make this. Now, they've always made IPAs, different ales, different seltzers, and they always have had them there. But the vodka specifically, they launched actually in Times Square a few weeks before COVID, on knowing, not knowing
Yeah.
COVID. So at first they were kind of like, oh gosh, what do we do? But, when New York was so strictly shut down, they thought, well, where else can we go? And Key West, Wilton Manors, that stuff came to mind.
Yes.
And, I saw it on Facebook, and I'm not going to lie, it's the only Facebook job ever in my life that has answered me. I had to literally Google them and verify their qualifications. I'm like, wait a minute, who is these people that want to be in Urban Street? And no, they're amazing. Neil and Jesse and Dog, they're an amazing family, father and son. They've seen the struggles that our community, the LGBTQIA community, has gone through in the Lower East Terrace of Brooklyn, New York City, and they wanted to find a way to give back, especially through the hardship of COVID. So it's a vodka. It's distilled 10 times. It's gluten-free. It is a proprietary blend of Midwestern corn and California grape. And as you said, they donate a portion of each bottle directly to DIFA and SAGE.
Nice. I love that. And it's delicious. I found it in my local liquor store, and then like I said, I contacted you. I want to talk about I think we lost her there. She should be back for a second.
I can't do anymore, but
right now, where can people find it? Because I know we can send people over to fourthandpride.com, and I know it's in different parts. Where is it, and where is it expanding to?
Oh, okay. So it is almost everywhere in New York City, and I apologize for being so vague. I am the rep in Key West, but I do know that it's almost in every single bar in the Lower East Terrace of Brooklyn, including the Iguana Bar that you had seen it at. It is in Chicago. It is in all of Florida. It is in New Jersey. It is in Buffalo, on the outskirts of Canada. I mean, Fourth Pride is everywhere. And if you go to www.fourthandpride.com, you can use the zip code search to see where exactly in the city is close to you that it's located.
Nice. And it sounds like you guys are going to continue to expand, which is really awesome. Real quick, before I let you go, Sam, you're based in Key West, yes?
I am, and I know for a fact that Fourth Pride Vodka can be the next Tito's, and I'll tell you why. Yesterday, real quick, I went to what's called the Absinthe House. It's a very local Navy-based place where people are literally originating from Mississippi with moonshine recipes from the 1800s, right?
Wow.
They're making their own whiskeys, their own absinthe, their own vodka. And when I went to them a few days ago with mine, I mean, they were blown away, and they explained to me the origination of Tito himself, Tito's vodka. Because I went in there like, this will be the next Tito. And he said, let me explain to you Tito. And when he told me the history of how he was the first person to say, why can't I make my own vodka? as opposed to corporations. And he sort of legally found the loophole to a handmade craft vodka. And, after hearing that story, I realized that our family, Fourth and Pride, both Neil, Jesse, and Doug, we are in it for the same exact reasons. We are doing tastings at all of our locations all day, every day. We are my own person. I'm walking from the southernmost point of Duval to the opposite end with cases of vodka, with my tent, with my stuff, setting up events all day, every day. And the fact that these people, Key West smugglers who have been around for generations, really recognized our efforts to be similar to Tito's, who he had met himself. I really think that this will be with Tito's for sure.
I'm
It's
so
so
glad you
new.
I'm so glad you said that too, and I love the growth of it because I think so many of us we get kind of lazy, and when we go out, it's so easy to say, "I'll have a Tito's vodka," and we love Tito's. It's just the easy one, but when there's a product out there that we know was made and supports our community, I love that this is kind of coming through, and I think you guys are on the path to make this happen, and it's only we need to start supporting by our cocktail dollars with Fourth and Pride. So I think that's really awesome.
I mean, can I just tell you that, here in Key West, there's a huge biker gang and these big burly dudes who come up and they're like, I will only drink Tito's. And I'm like, you are going to like this better. And they do. And they're like, oh my gosh. So I just know that if it verbalizes in our existence and we say it, it will really be the next Tito's. And it should be it for sure, because it's better, it's cleaner. I'm sure tomorrow I will bet money on it that you're going to feel good tomorrow morning. And that's the biggest thing for me, that when I started doing this, sorry, there's a lot of airplanes in Key West.
You're good. I can hear you.
Okay. When I started doing this at first, a lot of people warned me like, oh man, plain vodka, everyone's doing this. But then there was a reporter down here who was at the end of my tasting, not to my accord, in a drunk take in the police station. And she wakes up completely sober, like, why am I in here? What happened? Her and her husband were shoeless walking down the street. They were just worried, so they picked them up. And another place at the Alexander Guest House, I mean, these ladies are pouring bottles into their mouth in the pool. And the next morning, they're stopping me on the street like, I can't believe I wasn't hungover at all. And I'm like, wow, okay, like that speaks for itself. It does, aside from the mission statement,
Yeah.
aside from,
Hi, people. Sam, I got to ask you one last question before I let you go. I love it. Thank you. I got to ask you one last question. You are in one of my favorite places, Key West, and you just finished Carnival, right? What can you tell us about Carnival and why should we come to Key West?
Oh, do you mean the Kinky Carnival?
Yes, Kinky. Is that what it's called? Kinky Carnival?
So Kinky Carnival, that is something that happened during Fantasy Fest. And it's funny you say that because Kinky Carnival is hosted at the place that I happen to be sitting at, which is not where I was before.
Okay.
I answered this call. It's called First Flight, and they do Kinky Carnival. And basically, Fantasy Fest is 2 weeks of people.
Say it again, Fantasy
Fest.
Fantasy Fest, got it.
Yes, it's 2 weeks of people just being people. Down here, it's one human family, and that's where Fourth and Pride really is just engulfing themselves in that status. We're about equality. We're about one human family. And down here, people are basically not wearing clothes.
Well, we love that here.
And that's what, Kinky Carnival was. It's just, you drive, it's Fantasy Fest. It's literally that. It's your own fantasy. You be what you want. I mean, I was Wonder Woman. I was a unicorn.
I love it.
We encourage you guys next year, please come down. I know this year was technically canceled, but we would love to see everyone next year.
Well, I'm a big Island House fan there. I don't know if you know Island House.
I do know Mark and Jim at the Island House. We were
Yeah.
hopefully going to be there soon. At first, months ago when I first started this job, to be honest, there was only 2 or 3 accounts that they dropped in my lap, and they're like, "This is what we have." And in the past month and a half, there's like 35 plus places, and everyone's like, "Go back to Island House, talk to Jim." And now we're going to be in the Island House finally.
Okay. I will be there hopefully in February, so I hope to meet you
February,
then.
perfect.
Yes. Sam, I want to thank you. How can people follow Fourth and Pride as it continues to roll out? Should they just follow social media at Fourth and Pride?
Yes, there's Facebook Fourth and Pride with the and symbol, Instagram as well. You can also follow myself. I am the sole rep as of right now. We have a few out on injuries and COVID related issues across the nation. So currently I am the active Fourth and Pride rep for the nation. I am at Oxy the Moron on Instagram.
I love
Otherwise,
that.
Fourth and Pride. Yeah, I know. It's from a long time ago. So, it's the middle school days. But Oxy the Moron or Fourth and Pride with the and symbol on Facebook and Instagram.
I love it, Sam. Thank you so much. And I hope to meet you when I come in February to Key West. Can't
Steve,
wait.
honestly, you have a place with me. I have a very small 2 bedroom apartment, but you're always welcome. You can also get a bottle mailed to you at fourthandpride.com, depending on the legality of your state.
There you go. I love it. Thank you so much, Sam. We'll be in
Thank you, Steve, for
contact.
reaching out to me because in reality, you
Yes.
could have talked to anyone in New York, and I was like, huh, you've reached out to me all the way down here. Okay.
I wanted
So I
Sam.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
Steve. Have a great night, everybody. I love New York.
Yay.
I'm a New Yorker.
Okay.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.